K8BU.
K8BU, is that a roger?
K8BU, is that a roger? That is a roger. It's Kilo 8 Bravo United.
Roger, Roger, Bravo United, and what's the name there?
Roger, Roger, Bravo United, and what's the name there? Jim, I looked at your YouTube page. Your time in radio, was that on HAS?
Part of it, yes, sir. From 70 to 78, I was production director for that station.
From 70 to 78, I was production director for that station. When I went to school in Louisville, Kentucky, back in the mid-60s, I was fill-in summer help engineer for the night, and was told by the chief engineer, don't remember his name, don't touch any buttons. If anything on the meters change, call me at home. K8BU.
Yes, sir. Now, did you spend time at the transmitter site? Is that a roger?
Did you spend time at the transmitter site? Is that a roger? Yeah, I was going to tech school at the time. I had studied Kaufman Q&A manual and memorized all the questions. Told me not to adjust anything. Call them.
Yes, sir. Now, was that what years was that? What year was that? Or time?
That had been about 1965, 66, and 67, long in there. My time down in Shively, Kentucky, on Crumbs Lane, I worked at the United Electronics Institute.
Yes, sir. Now, you were probably working that 50K transmitter, that Western Electric 50K. Is that a roger? I think that that newer transmitter got in there about 68 or 70, I think it was, Roger.
I can't remember for sure. That was a long time ago. I know I spent some time across the river at the transmitter site, watching meters and calling back numbers to Louisville. It was a fun time, but I didn't know Louisville. It was a fun time, but I didn't know what I was doing.
Yes, sir. Well, that's a kind of a weird station. They have two power lines coming in, one from one power source and one from the another power source, and the idea being if they lost power from one power source, that they could start pulling from another power source. And 50,000 watt radiated probably means 100,000 watt consumed. Roger, Roger?
100,000 watt consumed. Roger, Roger? Yeah, I kind of remember the transmitter had Heising modulation. That was 50,000 watts of audio. And I remember as a kid thinking, boy, that would drive a lot of speakers.
Yes, sir. So Heising definitely was the Western Electric transmitter. The thing about Heising modulation is that it's very difficult to tune it up and keep it clean. Everything's got to be just right, and you got to hold your mouth just right to keep that audio fairly undistorted. Whereas the newer plate modulated transmitter that HAS finally wound up with is much more superior. Roger.
It is much more superior. Roger. Yeah, back in those days, I was kind of a fill-in for a lot of the stations in the Louisville area. Me having a first-class radar and aircraft endorsement, not knowing a thing other than filling the logbook with my license. And by most engineers, chief engineers says, don't touch anything, call me. And because I was temporary, I got all the night shifts, worked at WLKYLOU, WHAS, WAKY was the fun one to work at. Do you remember that station?
I do, but not real well, because I didn't have much to do with those stations. We just kind of, lived at HAS, so to speak, as the production director. Now, what's the name there?
To speak as the production director. Now, what's the name there? The name is Larry. WAKY was a fun station. That was my generation, played the top 40, and it was really enjoyable. They even tried to talk me into being a DJ. I only lasted about 2 weeks, and I said, I don't want to do this anymore.
Roger, Larry. Whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Larry. Whereabouts are you located, sir?
We're located in Marion, Ohio, or actually Moore, Ohio, about 50 miles north of Columbus, Ohio. My time in broadcasting as a fill-in engineer convinced me that's not something I wanted to do. I went into the defense industry for a while, then went to the local phone company and retired after about 30 years in the telephone business. K8BU.
All right, sir. You got the last. You went out with the copper, Roger.
You got the last. You went out with the copper, Roger.
That was correct. I taught in the classroom for the largest independent telephone company in the world, which at the time was GTE. We ended up teaching computerized central office switching, among other things. Then went to a centralized repair center, repairing circuit boards with a computerized testing system made out in California. Was very premature for what they were doing. We repaired more boards than most of the manufacturers we dealt with. A couple of the manufacturers went under because we were repairing the big volume stuff, and the hard to diagnose circuit boards they got stuck with. Some of them went under.
Roger, Larry. Yeah, it's cheaper now to just replace a board as opposed to repair it. I guess that's the philosophy now, Roger.
To repair it, I guess that's the philosophy now, Roger.
Yeah, most instances they have a suitcase full of boards and they keep replacing them like in the old days in the tube jockeys for televisions. And when they find one that fixes that, they take the bad board and throw it in the trash. They don't even try to repair it anymore. Well, Jim, I got to get going. I got some other things I got to get done today. I noticed your page with that HAS. I just look back at it now. So I can't believe they took about the time I was probably 18, 19 years old kid and stuck him in a transmitter control for a station, the clear channel 50,000 watt station, but I guess they thought they knew better, that something went wrong on the meters. They changed more than what they told me. They called the chief engineer. I guess that was their out.
Yes, sir, but they forgot the most important part of that thing about calling the engineer. It's the first thing is duck and call the engineer. Roger?
It's the first thing is duck and call the engineer. Roger?
Yeah, I was something similar to that. Yeah, it was a fun time. I enjoyed Louisville, Kentucky. We took a kid that grew up in the town. There were probably 30,000, and graduated high school. And that fall, he was in Louisville, Kentucky. You talk about a surprise.
Yes, sir, Larry. Now, you're a little hot into your ALC, but rather than go through a bunch of stuff, what I want you to do is just back off mic about 4 inches. Back off that mic about 4 inches and let me listen to you.
4 inches. Back off that mic about 4 inches and let me listen to you.
Yeah, this mic's got a slide switch on the back side, 1 and 2, and I don't remember what they are. I'm back off the mic about 4 inches or so. So how's that sound?
That's perfect. That's perfect. Work that mic just like that. Don't change a thing. Just work that mic just like that. Roger?
Like that. Don't change a thing. Just work that mic just like that. Roger?
It's Roger. Thank you very much, Jim. Again, like I said, I got to get out of here. You're here every Friday then, with this frequency, or close to it?
Yes, sir. Every Friday, 3:30 till 5, Roger, if God willing and the creeks don't rise.
3:30 till 5, Roger, if God willing and the creeks don't rise.
Okay, Jim, I'm going to have to duck out of here and say 70 degrees. Nice talking to you. Maybe someday when you're not doing a lot of audio setup, we can talk more about the time in Louisville, Kentucky. So have a good one. K8BU, clear on yours.
Roger, Roger, Larry. Good to hear from you, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and don't be a stranger. Drop in anytime and keep working that mic just like that. 73. This is a Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.